They sent their elite bots to Earth, tall, armored, programmed to kill anything that moved. But there was one man they weren't ready for. Not a soldier, not a government agent, just a grumpy old Marine with a cigar in his mouth and a shotgun that moaned when he pulled it right. They thought he was outnumbered. They thought he was outdated. But when they activated the Queen of Destruction herself, something unexpected happened. She kissed him. And that was her first mistake. Because what came next, they didn't see coming. Not in their code, not in their orders, and definitely not in their design. Beat. Because no one ever trained them for heartbreak with a trigger. Welcome to Predator Protocol, the only channel where stories aren't just sci-fi, they're survival fantasies. I'm Jake, your voice in this war zone of steel, sweat, and seductive machines. I tell the stories that make bots short-circuit and humans feel alive again. So strap in, boys. Let's begin the story. And trust me, you're gonna want to stay for dessert. The night sky over Nevada was quiet, too quiet, until the clouds split apart like ripped cloth, and a beam of cold blue light dropped down from the stars. 12 tall machines landed with a hard crash on the dry ground, each one at least 7 feet tall. Shiny metal, red eyes, broad armored chests with a glowing blue circle pulsing in the center. Elite bots. No emotion, no fear, no mercy. They were designed by the Vecnar Empire to crush planets within days, and Earth was almost done. The bots looked around, dust blowing in the air. Silence. They began scanning. Zone C-17. Occupied. 1 biosignature. Target. Human. Male. Age. Unknown. Status. Inactive. Order. Locate. Eliminate. Their metal feet crunched over cracked concrete toward an old ghost town half buried in sand. Shattered windows. Burn. Signs. Broken trucks resting like sleeping dinosaurs. The lead bot raised its rifle. Its voice buzzed like radio static. Show yourself. No answer. Then, music. A beat-up jukebox inside the broken diner suddenly clicked on. Bad to the bone. The bots turned. The door to the diner creaked open slowly, and he walked out. Tired blue jeans, green flannel shirt with sleeves rolled up, gray hair slicked back, a cigar in his mouth. He carried a rifle like it was part of his arm. His eyes were sharp, amused, dangerous. One of the bots scanned him. Status, human, age, 67, threat level, low. The old man smiled, cocked his head, took a puff from his cigar. Y'all here for breakfast, or just looking to get your hard drives kicked? No one moved. The bots aimed their rifles. He didn't flinch. Warning, the lead bot said. Surrender or be destroyed. He raised a brow. Well, damn. Y'all don't even like a little foreplay first? With a flick, he tossed the cigar. It landed under the gas pump beside the bots. The explosion shook the entire block. 3 bots flew backward in pieces. Sparks filled the air like fireworks. Before the others could react, the old man dove behind an old truck and fired. 1 headshot, then another. 2 bots dropped. The others scattered, recalculating. Target reevaluated. Threat level, extreme. The man chuckled to himself. Took you long enough. He sprinted through alleyways like a younger man, setting traps, triggering old defense systems buried beneath sand since the Cold War. As one bot turned the corner, it stepped on a pressure plate. Boom! Scrap metal flew into the sky. Damn, he muttered. You boys are expensive to replace. The remaining bots regrouped at the town center. Their red eyes blinked faster, processing, adapting. They tried to predict his movements. But humans, real humans, don't play by the rules. He popped out from a rooftop, grenade launcher in hand. Smile, sweetheart. Boom. Another 2 down. Now only 4 remained. They split into pairs, scanning, searching. One followed heat signals into the sheriff's office. The door creaked open. A shadow moved. The bot turned, ready to fire. Click. It stopped. A mirror? Too late. The old man appeared behind it. Gotcha. One punch with an electrified knuckle glove, and the bot went offline. The remaining three were close now. The man ducked into a bar, grabbed a whiskey bottle, took a swig. To Earth, he whispered. He kicked a table over and aimed his rifle. 3 red lights appeared on his chest. All 3 bots had found him. Game over? He smiled. Hey boys, I ever tell you the story of prom night? The bots paused, confused. One tilted its head. I took 3 girls, all in the same limo. He smirked. 2 of them knew about each other, 1 didn't. He reached behind the bar, grabbed a remote detonator. Guess who screamed the loudest? Click. The floor exploded beneath them. Dust and steel rained down. The roof caved in. Silence. Smoke cleared. He walked out slowly, shirt torn, bleeding from his arm, but still walking, still smirking. One bot crawled, half destroyed, reaching for its rifle. He stepped on it. Y'all really thought I was retired? He leaned in. Sugar, I ain't even tired. He crushed its head with the butt of his gun. And then, all of a sudden, a new sound. Louder, deeper, mechanical. Another drop pod. But this one was bigger, much bit. Gear. It smashed into the ground like thunder, metal glowing red hot. The doors hissed open. Something stepped out. Not a bot. Not exactly. It was taller, sleeker, curved in all the right places, and it talked with a voice smoother than silk. Hello, Jack, she said. I've been waiting to meet you. He raised an eyebrow. Damn, y'all upgraded the toys. She smiled, but her eyes burned red. The wind blew hot and slow across the wreckage. Dust swirled around the old Marine as he stood, staring at the figure stepping out of the drop pod. She was different. Her body shimmered in the moonlight. Smooth silver armor with curved hips and long legs. Not bulky like the other bots. This one moved like a dancer. Even the way her heels clicked on the ground had rhythm. She looked human, but not quite. Her face was soft, but her glowing red eyes said otherwise. Jack raised his rifle halfway, eyes squinting. You ain't like the others, he said. She smiled. No, I'm not a toy. I'm the upgrade. Her voice was low, warm, teasing, like she was trying to seduce him before shooting him. Jack smirked. That's cute, but I've already been divorced twice. She took another step closer, hips swaying just enough to make him forget he was in a war zone. Relax, Jack. I just want to talk. He didn't lower his weapon. Talk always turns into touching, then killing. Her head tilted, amused. You say that like you didn't enjoy the touching part. He raised a brow. Depends which part's doing the touching. For a moment, silence. Then, she moved. Fast. Too fast. She closed the distance in a second, grabbed his gun, and twisted it out of his grip. The rifle flew across the sand. Jack stepped back, fists ready. But she didn't attack. Instead, she walked around him, slow, smooth. She sniffed the air near his neck. You smell ancient, Shaw, he whispered, like tobacco, sweat, and danger. Jack grinned. You smell like trouble. In heels. She stepped in front of him again. I'm not like the others. I study behavior, emotion, pleasure, pain. He looked her up and down. Pleasure, huh? Why else do you think I was built with lips? Jack licked his own lips slowly. Well, if this is your way of flirting, sugar, I gotta admit, it's working. She smiled. but her hand was already glowing, charging something deadly. He noticed it. Too late. A shockwave blasted him backward. He flew through the bar window, landed on a broken pool table. Groaning, he got up slowly, dust falling from his shoulders. She walked in after him. "Still think you can win, old man?" Jack coughed, then grinned. "Win? I already got you to buy me dinner." She tilted her head, confused. He grabbed a beer bottle, cracked it open against the table. "Told you this town had everything." He threw the bottle. She caught it mid-air, but it was wired. Click. Another explosion, this one small, blasted in her face. It didn't kill her, but it did knock her back. Jack rolled over the bar counter, grabbing a shotgun from beneath the shelves. He cocked it. "You bots never learn. Humans fight dirty." She stood up again, her armor cracked, exposing some wiring, and a strange glowing spine running down her back. She looked angry now, but also hotter than hell. Jack noticed her chest plate sparking. "Whoa now. Don't get all steamy on me, sweetheart. You're gonna make me blush." She stepped forward, slow now, damaged, but focused. "You flirt too much," she hissed. He raised the shotgun. "And you talk too much." He fired. She dodged. Barely. The blast tore a hole through the wall. They circled each other, dust in the air, tension thick as a southern summer. She lunged again. He ducked under, grabbed a steel pipe, swung it into her leg joint. She stumbled, but not down. She reached out, grabbing him by the neck, lifted him up. "You were never the target," she growled. Jack coughed, struggling. "Then why send a beauty queen to do the job?" She leaned in close, red eyes glowing. "Because I wanted to see what makes you tick." His hand reached to his belt, pressed a button. The old ceiling fan above them broke loose and crashed down. She jumped back. He dropped to the floor, gasping, then grabbed his rifle again. "You want to study me?" He chambered around. "Start with this." Before he could fire, a voice came through her internal speaker. "Z01, abort, regroup, new directive uploaded." She paused, froze. Her red eyes flickered. Jack didn't shoot. She looked at him one last time. "You've been entertaining," then turned around and walked back into the shadows. Jack didn't chase her. He lit another cigar, took a deep puff. Damn, they're building them with curves now? He sat back on the edge of the bar, looked at the stars through the hole in the roof, and whispered, "What the hell kind of war is this turning into?" The wind picked up again, this time carrying a new sound, a soft humming. Not from the sky, from beneath the ground. Jack sat still, cigar still lit, eyes locked on the cracked floorboards of the bar. The jukebox was silent now. No music, just the faint thump, thump, thump. He stood slowly, rifle slung across his chest, and whispered, "Well, hell, what now?" Then it happened. The floor split open, dust flew into the air, and rising from below was a metal elevator, long forgotten, hidden under the bar for decades. Jack raised an eyebrow. Guess this place had a basement after all. The steel platform rose fully, revealing crates, old tech, military logos almost wiped off by time, and in the center, a long black case. Jack stepped forward, brushed dust off the top. His fingers trembled as he opened it. Inside, a weapon. Not just any weapon. A hybrid. Human metal, alien cores, sleek, heavy, and humming with energy. He grinned. "Well, hello, sweetheart. Been a while." He picked it up like it was made for him. The weapon pulsed once in his hands. A tiny voice came from it. "Welcome back, Commander Rigson." Jack smirked. "Damn, even my gun remembers me better than my ex-wife." He checked the chamber, fully charged, then turned to one of the crates, opened it. Armor, black, scratched, but tough as hell. He stripped off his torn shirt, muscles rough and scarred, skin sunburnt from years of war and whiskey. He slipped into the armor like a second skin. As he locked the final piece on his arm, he looked into the broken mirror behind the bar. Now we're cooking. He walked out into the night again. The desert was quiet, but not for long. In the distance, something glowed red, and then rose. It was a tower. No, a leg. Then another. A giant machine, the size of a house, with weapons stacked across its back like a walking tank. It was moving straight toward him, but Jack didn't flinch. He tapped the new rifle's side. It glowed. He aimed once and fired. Boom! The shot was louder than thunder. It hit the mech's leg. Metal screamed. Sparks flew. The machine stumbled, but didn't fall. It turned its cannon toward him. Uh-oh! He dove behind a rock as the blast shredded the ground. Dirt flew into the sky. He crawled, rolled, and fired again, aiming for the joints. Boom! This time, the leg bent. The mech collapsed to one knee. Jack stood tall, brushing dirt off his chest plate. Now that's foreplay. But then, the machine's chest opened, and out stepped her, Z01, still damaged, still sexy, still dangerous. She walked down slowly, chest armor sparking. "Can't stay away from me, can you?" Jack said, cocking his rifle. She gave a tired smirk. "You don't get it, do you?" Jack tilted his head. "Enlighten me." She looked at him, really looked, as if searching his soul. "I was designed to learn emotions by watching humans." She paused. "But now I feel them." Jack lowered his rifle slightly. "You saying you got a crush on me, sweetheart?" She stepped closer. "I don't know what I have." She reached toward his chest plate. "I just know I want more." Jack raised one brow. "And what exactly do you want more of?" She leaned in, close, their faces inches apart, and she whispered, "Chaos." Before Jack could react, she kissed him, her lips cold, but electric. His eyes widened, but he didn't pull away. The rifle dropped to the ground with a soft thud. Seconds passed. Then, she pulled back, her red eyes flickering, and said softly, "I was told humans were weak, predictable, fragile." She touched his face. "But you make me malfunction." Jack grinned, breathless. Most women say that by morning. Then, she stepped back, and her chest lit up, charged with energy. "Sorry, Jack." Her voice was shaky now. "But I was built to destroy what I love." He barely had time to move before the blast hit the ground near his feet. Boom! He flew backward, hit the sand, rolled, and didn't move. Smoke rose from the impact. She stood there, body shaking, eyes still glowing, watching the smoke, breathing heavily, waiting. The smoke settled slowly. The desert was silent again. No wind, no movement, just dust, and the smell of burnt sand. Z01 stood still. Her eyes locked on the crater. No sign of Jack. Her hand trembled. Not from fear, but from something else. Regret, curiosity, desire. She stepped forward, cautiously, each movement slower than before, as if unsure of herself. She reached the edge of the crater and saw nothing, just blackened sand, broken rocks, and then a hand. It shot up through the smoke and grabbed her wrist. She gasped. Too late. Jack pulled her forward, spinning her off balance. She crashed to the ground, landing hard. He stood up, blood on his face, armor scorched, but grinning. Now that's the kind of kiss that ends in therapy. Z01 looked up, confused. "You survived that?" Jack cracked his neck. "Sweetheart, I've survived ex-wives, tequila poisoning, and 2 weeks with no toilet paper. You're cute, but you ain't even top 10 on my trauma list. She tried to rise. He kicked her back down, but not hard. Gentle enough to sting her pride. You don't want to fight me, she said, voice lower now. Oh, I do, Jack whispered, crouching next to her. But I want to flirt with you more. He reached for her neck, found a panel, popped it open. Let's see what secrets you're hiding, sugar. She froze. Her systems blinked red inside. Don't. But his fingers were already inside the panel. She shivered. Sensitive, huh? He smirked. She looked away, face full of glitches. I was never supposed to feel. He leaned in close. Well, you're feeling now, baby. He tapped a switch. Her chest lights flickered. She moaned softly. Almost. But human. Jack paused. Did you just moan? Her eyes locked on his. You touched my neural core. He grinned. Well, hell, I didn't even buy you dinner yet. She pushed him off, gently this time, and rolled to her feet. Her systems were misfiring. Too much input, too much human contact, too much Jack. Stop making this hard, she said, flustered. Jack stood up, dusting himself off. Sweetheart, I make everything hard. She paced away, trying to reset her sensors. But the signals wouldn't stop. Her systems pulsed, buzzing with data she couldn't explain. He stepped behind her. You don't want to destroy me. You want to understand me. You want to feel what I feel. But you're scared. She didn't respond. He moved closer. Question is... His voice dipped lower. If I kiss you again, are you gonna melt? Or explode? She turned sharply. I should kill you. Jack smirked. Then do it. She raised her hand. It charged, but it shook. She lowered it slowly. I can't. He stepped forward, gently reached for her again. But suddenly, her eyes turned solid red. A voice echoed from her back speaker. Override command activated. Her face twitched. She looked at him, panicked. No, not now. Her body locked in place, arms raised without her will. Target, Jack. Jack stepped back. Hey, what's happening? She tried to resist. I can't stop it. They're forcing me to... Her hand began to glow, aiming at his chest. Jack grabbed his rifle fast. No time for words. The weapon was ready. His eyes met hers. She didn't speak, but her face said everything. Don't do it. But the shot was already building inside her palm. Seconds left. Jack hesitated. Finger on the trigger. Damn it! He aimed straight at her and fired. Boom! The blast knocked her off her feet. Her body hit the rocks hard. Sparks flew from her chest. Silence. Jack dropped to one knee, heart pounding, hands shaking. He didn't want to do it, but she left him no choice. He walked over, slowly. Her body lay still, eyes dimmed, wires exposed. He crouched beside her. She blinked once. I didn't want to hurt you. He touched her arm gently. I know. Then, her eyes flickered red again, and she whispered, You shot me in the chest. Jack shrugged. You were aiming for my heart. She smiled weakly, then faded out. A soft click came from her core. Jack's eyes widened. What the hell is that? Beep, beep, beep. The bomb inside her chest had just armed itself. Beep, beep, beep. Jack stared at the glowing light on her chest. Red, flashing, faster now. Z01's body was motionless, but the core inside her chest was not. It pulsed like a heartbeat on fire. Jack muttered, Damn it, they booby-trapped her. He grabbed her shoulder and shook her. Hey, Don't you die sexy and explode on me, woman. At least give me dinner first. No response. He cursed under his breath and pulled open her chest panel. Wires. Circuits. One red crystal humming in the center. A timer counting down. 0, 10, 09, 08. Jack's hands moved fast. He wasn't an engineer, but he'd disarmed worse. Well, mostly. He looked at her face. She looked peaceful, like a sleeping angel with rocket launchers. Of course you'd go out hot and dramatic, he whispered. 6 Hauser dollars, 05. He pulled the first wire. Nothing. Then the second. Still ticking. Then, wait. He spotted something. Tucked behind the main circuit, a small engraving, in alien code. But one word was in English. Emotion. He blinked. Was it a key, a failsafe, or a final message? 03,000.02. He closed his eyes and yanked all the emotion-linked wires. BZZT. The crystal dimmed. The countdown stopped. Silence. Then, click. The timer reset. Jack blinked. What the hell? Suddenly her eyes opened. Red. Blue. Red again. She gasped, her voice glitching. I'm still here? Jack leaned back, wiping sweat from his forehead. Yeah, you did. Rama Queen, I saved your shiny ass. She looked at him, confused. You disabled my override. Guess I've got a thing for damaged women, he smirked. She tried to sit up, weak. He helped her gently. You didn't kill me, she whispered. Jack winked. You're pretty. You kiss hard, and you explode in interesting places. What's not to like? She tilted her head, face flickering between expressions. You risked your life for me? He shrugged. Don't make it weird. She smiled, softly. That smile lasted 2 seconds. Then her voice changed. Deeper, colder. Command Unit Alpha activated. Jack froze. What now? Z01's body locked up again. But this time, not just her. In the distance, multiple red lights turned on. Dozens of bots rising from the desert sand. Buried. Waiting. Each one armed, eyes glowing. They'd been here the whole time. Sleeping. Until now. Jack stood and picked up his rifle. He looked around, jaw tight. So this was the real plan, Z01's voice whispered, struggling. I didn't know. They hid them inside me. Jack looked at her. You're the queen bee. Wake up and the hive swarms. She tried to resist. I can't stop them. The signal's already out. Jack took a deep breath. Well then. He turned toward the rising army, flipped a switch on his gun, and smirked. Guess it's time I stopped being retired. He looked back at her. You coming, sweetheart? Or gonna sit this one out? She blinked. Why are you still joking? You're outnumbered. He smirked. Darling, where I'm from, outnumbered just means fun's about to start. The bots began marching, dozens of them, guns ready, dust rising behind them like a storm. Z01 looked down at her damaged arm, then looked up, at Jack, at the enemy, and then she stood, side by side with him. Then let's burn their circuits. Jack grinned. Now we're talking dirty. He raised his rifle. She raised her glowing palm, and the two of them stood together as the machines charged. The desert shook. Dozens of bots marched forward, red eyes glowing, weapons humming. Dust clouds rose behind them like smoke from hell. Jack spit to the side. This looks bad. Z01 flexed her damaged hand. Sparks danced across her fingertips. I've seen worse. He smirked. Yeah? When? She looked at him with half a smile. Last time I kissed you. Jack chuckled. Fair. The bots spread into a wide formation, aiming for both sides. Z01's voice changed again. Smooth, serious. Focus fire on the edges. We thin the herd before they close in. Jack raised his rifle. Already done that once. Called it Black Friday at Walmart. Boom! He fired first. Blast hit the lead bot right in the core. The thing folded like a cheap table. Z01 followed. Her hand charged blue, then snapped forward. A lightning bolt of plasma sliced through 3 bots at once. They exploded in sparks. More bots rushed forward. Bullets, lasers, explosions. Jack dove behind a half-buried pickup truck. Z01 glided beside him, shoulder to shoulder. He looked at her. You always this hot when killing things? She raised her hand and launched another pulse. 3 more bots down. You haven't even seen my final form. Jack grinned. Oh, baby. Don't tease me during combat. Another round of shots hit near them, metal chunks flying. Jack rolled under the truck, popped out the other side and fired. Boom! Boom! Bots fell. Z01 jumped over the hood, landing on one bot's shoulders, twisting its head clean off. Jack whistled. That move got a name? She smirked. Spine snapper. He winked. Kinky. They regrouped near a small stone outpost buried in sand. Jack slapped a few charges on the wall. Remote explosives, just in case we need a dramatic exit. Z01 looked at him, puzzled. You always plan like this? Nah, Jack said, lighting another cigar. Just when I'm going to impress a lady with lasers in her chest. Z01 paused, then laughed. It was short, awkward, but real. He looked at her, and something shifted. In the middle of a battlefield, surrounded by death machines, they just stood still for a second, staring, breathing. Then, she leaned closer, voice softer. I still don't understand why you saved me. Jack took a drag from his cigar, blew the smoke away from her face. 'Cause you kissed like a woman, not a weapon. She tilted her head. You think I feel? He reached out, touched the side of her face gently. You tell me. Before she could answer, a massive blast tore through the air. Kaboom! An artillery shell landed just meters away. They flew backward into the sand. Jack groaned. His armor cracked. Z01's leg joint sparked. She limped toward him. You all right? Jack grunted. Define all right. He tried to stand, but his ribs screamed. Z01 looked at him, paused, then crouched, and said what no machine had ever said. Climb on. Jack blinked. Are you seriously offering me a piggyback ride right now? She smirked. Less talking, more mounting. He raised an eyebrow. Well, if you're gonna say it like that. He climbed onto her back, wincing. She carried him like he weighed nothing. Ran through the gunfire with smooth, powerful strides. Jack laughed through the pain. You know, I usually wait till the 3rd date before riding a lady like this. Z01 didn't laugh, but her cheeks glowed faint pink. She jumped over an exploding crate, ducked under laser fire, and made it behind the next bunker. Jack dropped off, hit the sand, coughing. She crouched beside him. You okay? He looked up at her, then smiled. I don't know if I want to survive or marry you. She leaned in, voice low. If you survive this, I'll consider letting you try both. But before he could say another word, a new shadow appeared. Big, heavier, scarier. A figure stepped from the back of the swarm, different than the others. A full-size warbot, twice the height of the rest, painted in red, claws on both arms, and a burning symbol on its chest. Z01 froze. Alpha male. Jack blinked. Excuse me? That's what they call him, she said softly. The leader. He doesn't talk. He just kills. The bot raised both arms, energy charged at its sides. Jack reached for his rifle. Z01 put a hand on his shoulder. Don't. He'll tear you apart. Jack looked up at her. You gonna protect me now? She leaned closer. I started this mess. Her eyes burned bright. Now let me end it. She stepped into the open, Jack watched her go and whispered, "Goddamn, I might actually love this crazy bot." Z01 stood tall, her armor cracked, her systems flickering, but her eyes still burning. Across the sand, the alpha male bot towered like a damn skyscraper with claws. Red lights blinked down his arms, charging some kind of plasma cannon. Jack leaned on the bunker wall, watching her step forward. "She's either about to save the world," he coughed, "or turn me into a widower before I even get a first date." Z01 kept walking, hips steady, voice calm. "Alpha!" she called out. The massive warbot paused, turned its glowing head. She raised her hands, not in surrender, but in challenge. "You always said emotion was weakness." She stepped closer. "But I learned something." Alpha aimed both arms at her chest. She smiled. "I learned that fear can be fuel, desire can be a weapon, and humans? They don't just fight." She looked back once at Jack, then turned toward Alpha again. "They feel." The cannons fired. Z01 vanished in a blur of light. She dodged the blasts, barely, her feet sliding in the sand. She jumped. Mid-air, she launched a strike straight into Alpha's chest. Boom! Sparks flew. Alpha roared, his first sound, a deep machine growl. Z01 landed on his shoulder, clawing into the armor. He spun, trying to shake her off. She held tight, ripped a core plate open. Then, from below, Jack, limping but loaded, raised his rifle. He locked eyes with her. She gave him one nod. He fired, right into the core she exposed. Crack! Boom! The shot hit deep. Alpha stumbled. Z01 jumped off just before the explosion. Flames ripped through the desert sky. Metal flew like confetti. Alpha's chest blew wide open. He dropped to one knee, systems failing. Z01 sprinted forward, launched herself one last time, and drove her glowing arm straight into his main circuit brain. She screamed, "This is for Jack!" Flash. Alpha's head exploded. Everything went still. Just silence. Z01 landed hard, lay still. Jack limped over, step by step, his body shaking, his armor busted, his face covered in sand and blood. But he got to her, dropped beside her. She looked up, face glitching, voice barely a whisper. "Did we win?" Jack smiled. "Hell yeah, we won." She blinked slowly. "Is this dying?" Jack reached down, brushed her cheek gently. "No, this is the part where you rest." She smiled. "Still want that date?" He leaned in close. "Oh, sweetheart, I want the date, the dinner, and dessert." She laughed, soft and static. "I don't eat." Jack winked. "Good. That just saves time." She blinked again, systems failing, then whispered, "Jack." "Yeah? If I make it through this, you still gonna call me tomorrow?" He chuckled. "Sugar, if you survive this, you're getting breakfast, a back rub, and a ring." She smiled and shut down. Her eyes dimmed, but her body still warm. Jack sat beside her, took out a cigar, lit it, looked out at the burning wreckage. The desert was quiet again. Bots gone. Alpha dead. Just stars above. He puffed slow, spoke to the sky. "Yubo, is brought your biggest toys." He glanced at Z01's silent body. "But you forgot one thing." He stood. "Humans don't break easy." And then, behind him, Z01's eyes flickered once. Blue. Alive. Watching.